The war in the Pacific, naval aviators, every flight was a suicide mission. Every flight was a suicide mission. Virtually every flight they knew they wouldn't be coming home. Those were the odds, but they volunteered for that class of service. And there were, other divisions in the military where men knew the stakes. But the average soldier in America, make no mistake about it, didn't really want to freeze in a foxhole in the Ardennes forest in the middle of the winter. They did it because they had to do it. But why are we in Afghanistan is the question, and should we be there? Steve in Arizona, you say yes. You're first up this hour. Please tell us why.
First of all, Dr. Savage, I'd like to say thank you for everything you do. I'm a long-time listener. It's an honor to be on the show and actually talk with somebody with a different opinion. But I'd like to say that...
I know it's there, and you know what? I know that you say we should be there, and I understand you've been there 3 times, and I'd like to know why you think we should. I want to learn.
Well, yes, sir. Outside of the fact that we had an a government that was willing to support an organization that desperate enough to strike at us, we knew that we had an inherent responsibility to assist with not only making sure the future government was prepared to fight and resist such groups, but also to give a people that were just completely torn down an opportunity that we had that, such as back in the Revolution and that the French and the Germans assisted with us when we became a country and became a nation, to help them out. And they really do need our help. And I would say overwhelmingly that the servicemen and women and the Marines that are over there that are working so hard, they really support this. Do we really like to be away from our families? No, but I can tell you overwhelmingly it's an honor to be over there, not only for America, but to help them out as well.
Well, I'm not going to suddenly take the opposite position that I've taken for over an hour and say I agree with you, because I still don't understand why we are there. And I still don't understand what the end goal is. I still don't understand why we are supporting Karzai when The Economist magazine claims that he's not as popular as warlords were because he's so corrupt and brutal. I mean, these are facts that I'm reading, and I don't understand it. Why are we launching an anti-poverty program in Afghanistan? Where's the money supposed to come from?
The difficult part of being a soldier Marine is we're talking about policies that are set in place to assist the government that really we're just there to help support it, whether or not we particularly agree with it. We just hope that these policies that are being put into place are going to empower the people, whether they're warlords or how corrupt the government is. I mean, we have to start sometime, but our hope is that the government can kind of come to fruition and establish.
Well, but listen, Steve, I'm not trying to talk you against the war because it's a terrible thing to do if you're fighting it. The Economist magazine describes President Karzai's government, and they claim that his vice president is a drug trafficker. They say that his government is, quote, so inept, corrupt, and predatory that people sometimes yearn for a restoration of warlords who, quote, were less venal and less brutal than Karzai's people. I mean, that's amazing stuff, and I don't know why The Economist would write a thing like that. Why are we launching a jobs programs for Afghanistan when we have so many people out of work here? Where is the money going to come from, Steve? Now, I'm a civilian, so I'm asking these questions. You are a soldier, and you do have to do what your commanders say to you. I understand that. Moreover, you have to believe in what you're doing, and I understand that. And I put myself in a very difficult situation by even raising this question because a goodly portion of my listeners are military and military families, and I'm not so sure that they like my raising this question, Steve, but I, as a commentator, have an obligation to sort of go where the news is, and this is a big news story, and it's a yawning, gaping hole in the media right now. It's Obama's war, and yet we're not hearing about it because of that. Steve, God bless you, and stay on the line. I'm sending you a free copy of Banned in Britain, which will be out. My guess is if I send it to the printer in a week, it's going to be 2 weeks, September. Oh, God, it's not going to be out till late October. Believe it or not, we're running late. But you'll get your first copy of the first printing, first edition, right off the presses. I'll be right back.
Savage.
I'm Kim Commando. You can keep up with all things digital Monday through Friday in the noon hour with My Digital Minute on Talk 910 KNEW.
By Michael Savage, 1-800-449. No, I asked the question, who wrote The Sea Was My Harvard and My Yale? And I was joking, 15 years before the mic as a joke. That's an inside joke here. Eureka, California, Tom, welcome to the Savage Nation.
Thank you, sir. It's a pleasure. Hey, was it Richard Henry Dana 2 years before the mast?
No, that's a wonderful book, and it could have been him, but it wasn't Dana. I mean, we've just been discussing it. Richard Henry Dana, 2 years before the mast, is a book that everyone should read when they're young. But he graduated Harvard in 1830s, and rather than going on a grand tour as most of his rich friends did, he didn't have the money, and he was a little oddball. He left Harvard and enlisted as a common sailor on a voyage around Cape Horn on a brig, the Pilgrim. And he came back to California to Massachusetts 2 years later. And he kept a diary throughout the voyage, which became an American classic called 2 years before the mast, published in 1840. Now, the word before the mast means the quarters that the sailors lived in the forecastle in the front of the ship. So, no, that's apparently not correct. Apparently we have a winner, though, on line 9. Jeff, welcome to the Savage Nation. Go ahead, please.
Dr. Savage, is it a book that you've quoted many times before, Moby Dick by Herman Melville?
It is, but do you know the exact quote? Let's go for broke. Let's do a Groucho Marx here. Let's go to the gold ring here.
Oh, I cannot give you the exact quote.
A whale ship was my Yale College and my Harvard. Herman Melville, Moby Dick. But you win the prize. You win a free copy of Banned in Britain. So thanks for calling. I think once in a while we should do a thing like this, with some American classics brought into the show, because, I don't know, it's just part of our cultural legacy. This book is amazing in many ways, in that here's a guy... this book, by the way, 2 years before the mast, was rejected by 4 publishing houses before Harper and Brothers offered $250 for it in 1839. It was published in 1846 in 2 versions. 1846. That's a long time. You say, well, why do I going to read that for? I have the internet. I could sit there in my pajamas and put everyone down. Why do I need that one? I can Twitter. What do I need to read that for? I'm so smart. Anyone says anything, I can attack them. Newspaper article comes out, I can sit and be a cyberbully in my pajamas. I can even start a fake internet newspaper. Why do I need 2 years before the mast? That's old. That is so old. That's not smart. That's not smart. Obama's smart. He's smart. He's smart. He's smart. He's smart.
Send Fredo off to do this. Send Fredo off to do that. Let Fredo take care of some Mickey Mouse nightclub somewhere. I can handle things. I'm smart. Not like everybody says. Like dumb. I'm smart, and I want the sticks.
These guys can read my mind now. We've been together so long on the radio. I mean, I was thinking of that piece, but I couldn't say get it. They got it anyway. You guys are so good, I don't know how to do without you now. I don't care about the glue usage, nothing. It's all okay now. Oh, boy, what a week, huh? What a week to be in radio. What a week. No one's in the media. I mean, Wolf Blitzer's gone. Golfer's gone. Wallbanger's gone. Is Hem around? There are rumors he's visiting the Prep H manufacturing plant to make sure that there's no toxins in it. Come on, I don't know where they are. Look, we could talk about serious stuff or cougars, whatever you want to talk about. Where is Obama? His ratings are in the toilet. His approval ratings are in the garbage. And suddenly you don't hear a word from him. And all of the useful idiots in the media are not talking about health care or him anymore. The talking points came out from Rahm Emanuel saying, drop the subject, let the idiots go to some barbecues and poison their brains with nitrites, and then we'll come back and have fake town hall meetings with the Acorn people and the rent-a-mobs, and then we'll convince them that they need socialized medicine. That's coming next week to a town near you. 1-800-449-8255. This is the Savage Nation.
Savage. Talk 910 KNEW. Here's Michael Savage.
It is the end of August at the Hotel Savage. We're actually, of course, in September. Here's September 1, a deadline for the Labour Party of the British government. I put them on notice, and I haven't heard from my lawyer in England. I don't know whether they've responded or not. I don't know whether they've agreed to take my name off the list. The last I heard, the Labor government is doing the bidding of the powers that be, the same way they released the Lockerbie bomber for oil. They were told by their masters in the Middle East to put my name on the list, and apparently the Labor government doesn't want to remove my name from the list. This should be a very, very serious story for any journalist in America. This is a very dangerous precedent, and yet the so-called media in America is not covering this story because they hate my politics, and they don't like Michael Savage. They're jealous of me, number one, jealous of my success primarily, and as a result, they make believe it didn't happen. Well, if it can happen to me, it can happen to them. That's all I can say. And they should know that. But you see, at the end of the day, it's all self-interest. And at the end of the days, it's all vanity. San Diego Mark, you're on the Savage Nation.
My thinking, Dr.